Hello everyone! 今回は前回に続いて英検1級のでる順パス単のを全部読みたいと思います。Transmit. During the war, the broadcaster often transmit message in a code to agents overseas. Retain. Although she lost her fortune, she retained the mansion and surrounding fields. Embrace. To the ecologist's surprise, the government embraced his proposals for cutting carbon emissions. Allocate. He sat at the desk allocated to him and began to take the test. Expire. The lease on my apartment will expire in 2 years. Inhibit. Some fear that environmental controls will inhibit material progress. Gamble. The company gambling that customers would be prepared to pay more prestigious product raise their price. Finalize. Despite for money, the business quickly finalized the deal on his house. Hail. All the newspapers hail the peace treaty as a great victory for their own side. Overthrow. The communists were accused of attempting to overthrow the elect government. Resurrect. After the counter-revolution, the traditional flag was resurrected, together with the national anthem. Discriminate. The research showed that many companies discriminate against women and minorities when hiring. Resonate. The candidate's optimistic message about the future resonates with many voters. Harness. Scientists are finding better ways to harness the limited energy to the sun. Suppress. The king immediately sent troops to suppress the rebellion. Drain. The swimming pool was drained and cleaned once a month. Usher. A waiter ushered the group of guests to a private room. Exploit. Human beings will need to increasingly exploit renewable energy sources in this century. Pitch. The young employee pitched his bold plan to senior executives. Slaughter. An outbreak of swine fever forced many farmers to slaughter their pigs. Enact. In the 1960s, the president enacted a number of civil rights laws. Deter. Nothing could deter him from leaving the town. Surveillance. He did not know why, but he felt sure he was under police surveillance. Mosaic. The church was famous for its beautiful mosaics influenced by Byzantine art. Conspirator. After their failed attempt to kill the detector, the conspirators were rounded up and executed. Influx. Recently, there has been a large influx of foreign investment into U.S. Faction. Each faction in the party wanted its candidate to have the job. Expertise. The ad said the company needed someone with computer expertise. Diagnosis. Accurate diagnosis of the condition is not easy for doctors. Utility. The cost of utilities in Tokyo is higher than that of most American cities. Collision. An official investigation into the collision of the aircraft was announced. Coalition. The Prime Minister was forced to call the new election when his ruling coalition collapsed. Adoption. The adoption of westernized diets by countries around the globe is leading to many health problems. Attorney. The defense attorney accused the police of planting evidence in his client's room. Biodiversity. The country was very proud of its biodiversity, which attracted tourists from around the world. Captivity. The negative effects of captivity on many zoo animals is a widely recognized problem. Career. The main carrier of the plague was rats, although the disease itself was spread by insects. Welcome, treasure. Okay, and next is career. Oh, I already said catering. After the number of customers decreased for indoor dining, the restaurants start offering catering services. Cement. Cement is a major ingredient of concrete, the most commonly used building material of the world. Commander. The elderly commanders in the army seem out of touch with the realities of modern warfare. Coordination. A lack of coordination between the responsible government agencies made tackling the disease more difficult. Deterioration. The deterioration of the local soil due to overuse began to affect harvest. Discomfort. The colleague president said that he felt some discomfort about allowing advertising on campus. Ethic. Some fields worry about that capitalist countries are losing the work ethic that made prosperous in the first place. Herd. The deer live in huge herds that move across the country searching for food. Implementation. Implementation of the promised emergency funding was delayed by the bureaucratic regulations. Intent. The original intent of the policy was to make it easier for young people to buy their own homes. Pathogen. Scientists began a frantic search for the pathogen that was causing the infection. Pension. Declining birth rates are threatening pension schemes in many countries. Portrait. The man was from an old aristocratic family, and the house was full of portraits of his ancestors. Okay. Prosecution. The prosecution of corrupt officials is essential for maintaining an honest government. Qualification. In today's world, good qualifications are increasingly necessary for success in business. Relevance. His novels, although written a long time ago, still have a great relevance today. Reproduction. The study of animal reproduction actually tells us a great deal about human sexuality as well. Sociologists. Many sociologists believe that gender differences are determined more by culture than nature. Spacecraft. Unmanned spacecraft have taught us much about conditions on other planets. Terrorism. One of the side effects of globalization has been a rise in international terrorism. Cornerstone. Freedom of speech is a cornerstone of liberal democracy and should be protected. Janitor. The girl's uncle worked as a janitor at the school she attended. Neuroscientist. By studying the physical activity of the brain, neuroscientists have learned much about human psychology. Paleontologists. Paleontologists try to reconstruct the nature of life in the past by analyzing fossils. Reductionism. Humanities scholars often accuse scientists of reductionism, although they can be equally reductionist themselves. Screening. Widespread screening for cancers has helped to improve recovery rates dramatically. Senescence. senescence. Increased cellular senescence over time is usual in most animals, including human beings. Catalyst. The minister's resignation proved to be the catalyst for a general election. Believed. In his speech, the mayor described belief of the community. Debris. He spent the morning cleaning up the debris left by the storm. Cavity. In order to protect teeth, it is important to discover and treat cavities quickly. Liaison. Our mayor held a safety campaign for our town, led by the liaison from the federal government. Defect. Biologists discovered that chemical pollution was causing birth defects in many local fish. Incarceration. The incarceration of criminals for trivial offense is not only cruel but very expensive. Counterfeit. Although the $100 bill was a counterfeit, it fooled almost everyone. Validity. The court said the company regulation had not legal validity. Equivalent. The scientists say that the cuts in finding was equivalent altogether. In order to pass this course, attendance is mandatory. Conventional. All conventional approaches to the problem have failed to work. Constitutional. The High Court ruled that new law was constitutional. Accountable. It is vital to hold politicians accountable for their decisions, even when they were made long ago. Administrative. The proposed reforms to the welfare system would involve greatly increased administrative costs. Collective. Collective ownership of land sounds good in theory, but it often leads to problems in practice. Congressional. Congressional hearings are often held to investigate matters of public concern. Explosive. The explosive discovery of a foreign spy in the Prime Minister's office shocked the nation. And next is incomplete. It is difficult to write about history when documentation is incomplete or not existent. Socio-economic. It is important that universities include students from a range of different socio-economic backgrounds. Territorial. The world is full of territorial disputes, any one of which could lead to armed conflicts. Underwater. As countries look for new sources of minerals, they are increasingly turned to underwater exploration. Unrealistic. While the girl realized her dream may be unrealistic, she tried hard to make it come true. Negligible. Negligible. One of the advantages of the proposal was that the costs involved were negligible. Overwhelming. The overwhelming majority of voters were opposed to the introduction of a new tax. Unethical. The unethical behavior of a few police officers gave the whole force of a bad name. Adverse. The expedition set off, but adverse weather conditions soon forced them to turn back. Desperate. The business partner closed their company after they found that they had disparate views on its operation. Profound. His latest novels are considered profound meditation of the nature evil. Hostile. The 1990s saw a larger number of hostile business takeovers. Judicial. Public faith in the fairness of the judicial system is essential in a democracy. Consistently. The value of the company's share had risen consistently for over 50 years. Surely you don't think I stole the money? He asked in surprise. Subsequently, the evidence proved the little boy had been telling the truth the whole time. Substantially, the finance minister insisted that the economic outlook was substantially better this year. Okay. セクション5来ました。Divert. Police were posted near the accident site to divert curiously seekers. Uncover. The crime was uncovered by a persistent journalist. Unearth. The construction worker accidentally unearthed the remains of Roman villa. Collaborate. Those who had collaborated with the enemy were later punished. Flourish. The small company flourished under the guiding hand of the innovative entrepreneur. Certify. The safety of a new drug must be certified by a government agency. Oh. Welcome back, treasure. Oh. Put down the camera. Treasure, come on. Okay, next is certified. The small company flourished under the guiding hand of the innovative interpreter. Flee. Many of the immigrants were refugees fleeing political persecution in their homeland. Grab. promise of tax cuts are usually an easy way to grab votes in an election. Revolt. Finally, the peasants could endure no more and revolt against the big landowners. Industrialize. As the country began to industrialize, people left the countryside and the cities grew in size. Rehabilitate. One of the aims of prisoners has always been to rehabilitate prisoners through training and education. Repress. The military government harshly repressed any opposition to its rule. Forge. During the Cold War, some academics forged private links with their counterparts of other sides. What do you want? Ow! Don't bite me! Ow! Don't bite me! Okay, sorry. Okay, next is mount. The local council decided to mount security cameras in the area. Wage. Irish nationalists waged a campaign against British occupation for decades. Prevail. The school team finally prevailed over their rivals and won the championship. Verify. The journalist had failed to verify the facts before writing his article. Accelerate. As the police tried to overtake the car, it suddenly accelerated. Disrupt. A group of demonstrators attempted to disrupt the meeting. Subordinate. He said his family life would never be subordinate to his career. Concussion. She suffered a severe concussion after falling from her horse. Okay, why her falling to home? Okay, next is two more. The doctors tried to determine the extent of patient tumors. Irrigation. Extensive irrigation of the desert had made it the fertile farming land. Bribery. In some countries, bribery of officials is an accepted part of doing business. Auditorism. The auditorium was packed with fans waiting for the concert to begin. Need. Eventually, the journalist found his niche as the newspaper film critic. Oh, see this? It's say to niche. Wow, I don't know how to say this is niche. Okay, next, drawback. One of the drawbacks to being an administrator is having to make tough decisions. Combustion. A single spark can initiate combustion of a highly volatile substance. Autism. Experts are still divided on the causes of autism. Acceptance. Although his theories were controversial at first, they have gained wide acceptance today. Ammunition. One of the biggest issues facing the wartime administration was maintaining a steady supply of ammunition. Artillery. The biggest single factor in victory was the size of the army artillery. Carbohydrate. Carbohydrates are essential to a healthy diet, although too much intake leads to weight gain. Chain. His family wealth came from owning a large chain of supermarkets. Chimney. The factory-tall chimney remains in place, but they no longer emit harmful smoke. Coefficient. The Gini coefficient has become a popular way of measuring the level of inequality in society. Conception. Her simple lifestyle was very different from the popular conception of how a film star lives. Congressman. His work as a congressman left him a little time to do anything outside the political arena. Clergy. The clergy enjoyed a privileged status in medieval Europe, but later they lost these benefits. Cultivation. The cultivation of rice is one of the oldest agricultural practices. Dictatorship. Making the transition from a dictatorship to a liberal democracy is never an easy process. Diplomacy. The small country relied on skillful diplomacy as a way to avoid maritime conflicts. Okay, next is emergence. The emergence of nuclear weapons were for a much riskier option for both sides. Episode. People all over the country waited impatiently for each new episode of the popular TV show. Fraction. The budget set aside for environmental protection was only a fraction of the defense spending. Fraction. Okay, next is guilt. Many people in Western countries feel a sense of guilt towards the amount of food they waste. It's a sad story. Okay, next is hatred. His initial hatred of the enemy turned into a sense of respect for their bravery and patriotism. Hierarchy. Many animal societies display a strong sense of hierarchy, with lower-ranking animals giving way to those above them. Indication. The chairman of the company had given no indication that he was about to resign. Okay, it's halfway through. Yes. Okay, next is despite the woman's insistence that she was innocent, she was convicted to the crime. Why? Okay, Kitten. Hi, Kitten. How are you doing, treasure? Kittens should not be separate from their mother until they are about 9 weeks old. Alright. Cute kitten. Mileage. The second-hand car had very low mileage and in excellent condition. Militia. This museum has a collection of uniforms from various militias through history. Missile. The Navy dispatched the crew to locate any wartime missiles that may have been lost in the ocean. Prediction. Scientists are becoming increasingly confident in accuracy their prediction about global warming. Radar. Radar was first developed from military purpose, but it also has many peaceful use. Rehabilitation. I think I already said, but I think it looks like different. This is already due for rehabilitate. Yes, can you see it? And this is a new version, the rehabilitation. Wow, it's different. Okay, so the sentence is most countries try to strike a balance between the punishment and rehabilitation of offenders. And next, reptile. Some reptiles such as turtle and lizards are much more popular as pets than others. Spectrum. The members of the committee included people from all parts of the political spectrum. Textile. The production of textiles has traditionally played a large part in the English economy. Oh, don't go, treasure. Oh. Okay, next. Transformation. The transformation of a tadpole into a frog usually takes about 3 months. Oh, it's a little long. Okay, next. Transparency. Oh, welcome back, treasure. Okay, transparency. Most candidates promise to create greater government transparency, but they rarely do much about it once they are in office. Turbine. Wind turbines are used to convert wind power into electricity. Don't bite me, treasure. Okay, next. Urbanization. The process of urbanization has been a central element in the modernization of economics around the world. Okay, next is gentrification. As property prices have risen, many formerly poor parts of the city have experienced gentrification. Populace. The party leader's right-wing views attracted support among the populace, but not among intellectuals. Pronoun. The use of gendered pronouns has been increasingly criticized as discriminatory. Okay, next is heritage. The country is proud of its cultural heritage, which is studied and preserved in its museum. Hygiene. Some children learn proper hygiene only in school since it is not taught to them at home. Oh, don't type something. Okay, she's back. Okay, my cat is back. Okay. Oh, she's so fast movements. Okay. Okay, let's go. Next words. Okay. Famine. Global warming is leading to an increased occurrence of famine. Okay, next is conscience. The reader said registration should vote according to their conscience. Consistence. Okay, next is specimen. The museum contained many specimens of rare plants. Preservation. The famous artist dedicated much of his life to the preservation of ancient buildings. It's important. Okay, next is venue. The sports stadium is also a popular venue for concerts. Next is unprecedented. The political party won an unprecedented share of the vote. Innate. Some birds have an innate tendency to mate for life. Okay, next is staunch. He was a staunch believer in the efficacy of herbal medicines. Agrarian. After the revolution, a number of important agrarian reforms were carried out. Okay, next is where is next? Okay. Where is I said? Okay. Oh, it looks so cute. Okay. At first, the cats felt cautious in their new home, but over time, they become bolder. Oh, my cat is maybe coming. Hurry up, coming here. Okay. Okay. Next is charitable. As government spending on welfare has been reduced, charitable organizations have become more important. Okay, next is evident. Although the president claimed to represent the poor, it became evident that his aim was to help the rich. Okay, next is where is next? Okay, progressive. The writer was known for his progressive views on feminism and progressive view of feminism and minority rights. Hazardous. The discovery of hazardous chemical on the site delayed the buildings of the stadium for 2 years. Wow, it's long. 2 years is too long. Okay, next. Okay, next is Where is next? Okay. His revolutionary theories about the universe were strongly opposed by the Catholic Church. Guests at the hotel were given complimentary vouchers, allowing them a free drink at the bar. Convincing. The new novel was highly praised for its convincing character and exciting plot. Oh, okay, welcome back, treasure. Okay, next is oh, let's go. Okay, calm. Okay, she's back. Okay, next verse is depressed. When he thought of all the work waiting for him at the office, he began to feel depressed. Okay, next is okay, anonymous. Okay, scholars are studying an anonymous 50th century BC manuscript. Okay, next is okay. Wait. Okay. Indispensable. The chairman found his secretary so indispensable that he even took her with him on business trip. Okay, next is transparent. We decided to protect our tabletop with a transparent plastic sheet. Diverse. The student body was very diverse and include people from over 50 countries. Wow, it's too big. Okay, next is only 30 words. Okay, overly. She was careful not appear overly confident in the interview. I think it is so important. Okay, next is internationally. The arrest of internationally renowned philosopher attract strong criticism from abroad. Everyone shouldn't be do this. Okay, next is mistakenly. The police mistakenly arrest him, believing that he was a wanted terrorist. There should be more care about it. Okay, so it will be 500 words. Yes, it's big. Okay, I do best to in this 1 hour. Okay, let's see, do it. Resent. Young writers should try not to resent constructive criticism. Devastate. The whole region was devastated by floods. Provoke. The drunk man tried to provoke another customer into fighting him. Hedge. The garden had been hedged with tall trees to break the wind. Enlighten. I asked her to enlighten me as to what had happened during my absence. Okay, next is emulate. She strove to emulate her mother's example in her personal life. Denounce. The opposition denounced members of the government of corruption. And next is disperse. The demonstrators were ordered to disperse by the local police. Alienate. Many voters were alienated due to the candidate's aggressive attacks on his opponent. Squander. The young man has squandered his entire inheritance. Next is discard. We were surprised to see that someone has discarded such nice furniture. Okay, next is what is next? Hamper. The police investigation was hampered by the uncooperative attitude of the local people. Okay, next is waive. He agreed to waive some of his right in return for a reduced sentence. Okay, next, ambush. They were ambushed by a gang of bandits in the night. I know for this verse what a game because game it's say for character. Yes. Okay, next, obliterate. The businessman did his best to obliterate all sign of his crime. Okay, next is secession. America's Civil War began when southern states tried to secede from the Union. Okay, next is slash. In order to reduce the deficit, the government slashed its funding of the arts. Mutate. The files were useful to scientists because they mutate so quickly. Wow. You can speak English? Wow. Okay, next, decimate. The country's population had been decimated by warfare and hunger. Condiment. Many people condemned the brutality with which the security force broke up the demonstration. Okay, next is correlate. The scientific team attempt to correlate rainfall patterns with human activity but failed to find any connection. Okay, next is descend. The idea that birds descended from dinosaurs is generally believed by experts today. Okay, yeah, many people believe this. Hold on. You too? Wow, you too. Okay, next is imprison. In some countries, the number of young males being imprisoned has grown dramatically. Why? Okay, next. Inflicts. The bombing campaigns inflicted terrible suffering on innocent civilian population. Oh, let's go. Okay, next is rally. The leaders of the protest movement rallied their followers in front of the presidential palace. Okay, palace. Oh, nice. Next, reassure. Teacher reassured the parents that their daughter was doing well in the class. Yeah, nice. Scalp. Don't. Okay. Scalp will be when the world champion match was held in town. Ticket scalping became a serious concern for the organizers. Yes, it's too dangerous for many people. Why? Because some people will anger for scalp the ticket for be less to their money to someone buy, and they need to buy for optional. Don't buy for a free market online free market. It's little danger. Okay, next is ratio. The ratio of applicants to those who were accepted was 3-1. Okay, next, patience. The inventor was famous for the number of patients he had taken out. Fraud. The insurance scheme turned out to be a complex tax fraud. Next, masker. Who carried out massacre of the villages remains a matter of dispute. Credibility. It seems his credibility has not been damaged despite the scandal. Okay, next is demise. Smoking and drinking to excess can bring about an early demise. Clout. His father carried out a lot of clout in the committee, and clout easily influenced committee decision. Resurgence. The threat of war led to a resurgence of support for the presidents. Cortex. He had suffered severe damage to the cortex of the brain. Cognition. Language and cognition are important topics for psychological research. Accountability. The committee said that the greatest problem is the system was lack of accountability among bureaucrats. Okay, next is acquisition. Language acquisition among children happens for the most part atomically. Next is acre. Millions of acres of tropical rainforest have been cut down by developers. Next is aggression. By exaggerating the trait of foreign aggression, the army gained the funds to expand its force. Next is assertion. Oh, okay, sorry. Critics argue that evidence contradicted his assertion that global warming was a myth. Oh, what does it mean? Okay, next is authenticity. They claim the painting was by a famous artist, but many experts question its authenticity. Okay, next is they claim the painting was by a famous artist, but many experts question its authenticity. Okay, next is booth. The young employee was told that she would be in charge of the company's booth at the trade fair. Okay, next is broadcaster. The country's state broadcaster failed to mention the anti-government protest at all. Bud. Disease affects the taste buds, preventing suffer from sensing the flavors of the food or their food. Okay, 4. Okay, it will be next is canopy. The forest canopy keeps the lower part of the forest dark and cool during the summer. Carriage. Before the introduction of railways, travelers had little choice but to use horse-drawn carriage. Okay, clash. Don't crash the carriage. Okay. After the championship soccer match, there were many clash between groups of rival supporters. はい、皆さん、今回の動画はいかがだったでしょうか。モチベーションが上がるので、高評価とチャンネル登録お願いします。